Hello, I'm Professor Pedrero, and I wanted to talk to you a little about the goals for the statistics class and how you might, things that you might do to try to succeed in the class. So first off, our goals for our statistics class are to master the fundamentals of statistics. This includes making, interpreting graphs and charts, and then computing statistical measures such as the mean, the standard deviation, the proportion, and being able to interpret them accurately, and then computing and completing hypothesis tests and confidence intervals and interpreting their results. That's the real meat and potatoes of statistics. And hopefully another thing that you'll learn along the way is to learn how to learn and to be able to do hard things. So I'm going to try to incorporate active learning and student accountability in that. Okay, so how to succeed in this class. I spent a lot of time preparing for this class, and two things that recently have come up that I'm trying to emphasize this semester are active engagement and taking ownership for your own student learning. So for the active engagement, I'm going to have you read the section before you come to class and take a quiz the night before. And then I want you to be actively involved in the work in class each day. We'll have daily activities, so even if you are sick or ill, you can still complete them. You just be on your own to do them. You won't have a neighbor to help you out. And to remember that you are responsible for your own learning. I've put in a lot of effort into designing the activities, creating the course, so it's up to you to actually take advantage of that and put in the effort so that you can master these concepts. So here's some specific tips that you can do. First off, it's obvious, but do the work and do it on time. So the assignments, quizzes, projects, exams, and all of that, they're all designed to help you meet the course objectives. And hard work and meeting deadlines are an important life skill. And I recently had a student who was, doing things last minute and doing okay in the class, but not great. He decided he was going to work a day ahead, and it worked really well for him. His grades shot up, his understanding shot up. It allowed more soak-in time, so he understood the material better, was better prepared. So the next thing is to practice good time management. There's not just one way that you can do this. You can schedule things out by the hour, maybe including sleep, or you can just do a to-do list each day that you can check off items when you're done. Some people like to set alarms for reminding themselves when homework or even quizzes are due each night before class. And I'll recommend that you check Canvas regularly so that you are aware of any due dates or assignments. Okay. Use effective study techniques. This includes previewing the lesson, so reading the chapter, taking the quizzes as designed in the course, regularly checking your learning progress by doing problems, including some self-quizzing problems where you try some problems either from the book or make some up on your own, and then check to see if you really understand them. Create a study group, and then try to focus on the math, not just socializing there. But don't try to just reread your book or the notes. If you reread material, you feel like you've read it before, and yes, you have, and so you feel like you're familiar with it, but you're not really mastering the concepts. And finally, don't procrastinate and cram. Those do sometimes have short-term benefits, but they don't lead to long-term success. As mentioned slightly before, you do need to sleep. You do need to take care of your body. And getting enough sleep each night, 7 to 8 hours, is the recommended for almost all adults. Helps you learn and has physical and mental health benefits. Now, you may have to cut back on TV and or video games to make this possible. Also remember to eat healthy, including fruits and vegetables. PB&J and ramen are not always the most nutritious stuff. And make sure you exercise 3 to 5 times a week. And remember, it doesn't have to be super strenuous. You can just go for a walk with a friend. Next, make and learn from mistakes. Any learning, you're trying to do something that you've not fully mastered, whether this is learning a sport or a musical instrument or even math. So you'll have to try some things that you've not done before. And so you will make mistakes. So don't worry about that. And another thing that I'd like to emphasize is you can't break math. It's been around so long that if it were possible to break math, it had been broken by now. But math is really resilient. Don't be afraid to try something because you can't permanently break math. And sometimes when you do make a mistake, I will correct you and realize that as I do so, I'm trying to help you be better and learn how to do things correctly. And so those are really chances to learn and improve. Another one is to eliminate distractions. Remember to focus on the math concepts. And for many people, this involves turning off the cell phone, especially notifications, because those happen about every 23 seconds, or maybe the TV or music or anything else that might distract you. Research has shown that learning and remembering is better and it's stronger because the neuron connections happen in the right places in the brain when you're really focused. And this leads to the myth of multitasking. Multitasking is a myth, especially with things such as mathematics. So if you're trying to do mathematics and something else, it's really dividing your attention and you're not processing things in the right part of the brain. Also, don't cheat. This is the #1 way to really ruin your grade in the class. And so you're responsible for your own learning in this class. Many assignments will be individual and they'll reflect your work. You can work together on projects and things like that, but you need to make sure that the work that you submit represents your own work. Cheating is a serious offense, and I do investigate it as much as I can. And if you do have a question about an activity, whether it's allowed or not, please feel free to ask before you do it. You can also check the academic honesty policy in the Snow College catalog. And I know things are difficult right now, but remember, we can do hard things.